A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're watching us. This is the Country Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Evans Okinya. I'm glad that you're here with us for these political conversations. I'm here with Professor Herman Manyora. Prof, how are you?
Good.
I can see you're enjoying your...
Yeah, I've come from a long journey. I'm almost dying.
So you've decided to...
As an old man, if I don't eat now, after a long journey like this, I would collapse.
Okay. You're eating like a king, so they say.
Yes.
See, but then you're a big man, but now here you are taking your own tea, and here we are talking and looking at certain matters actually that are affecting the country.
Yes.
Now, tell me this. You remember we've been waiting for the list of those who will be involved in the bipartisan talks, definitely from the Kenya Kwanza side. And yesterday the list was unveiled, and previously the list from Azimio had been unveiled, and you looked at the individuals who were mentioned there. Yesterday, a number of Kenyans expected that the names that would come from Kenya Kwanza would perhaps match those ones on the other side. What's your view about the names that were unveiled yesterday by the Kenya Kwanza administration?
Frankly speaking, I don't know those people. I only know Boni Khalwale, and he's up to the task. The rest I don't know them.
Where do you think then, is it a strategy that Kenya Kwanza decided to bring people who perhaps are not so much known, are not so much in the limelight, and people may not actually...
Maybe the idea is to just bring noisemakers. People who can't play a game, you can't play against them. If you get Man U and take their AFC or a Shabana, they can't play. I don't know them. Maybe they are good. I don't know them.
In fact,
I only know Boni Khalwale in that team. I thought that was contemptuous because if people are giving you well-known individuals, capable individuals, I was thinking you would match it by giving similar names, people of same caliber. Then that will show seriousness. But apart from Boni Khalwale, these others, but I'm saying I don't know them.
You expected the likes of Ndini Nyoro, Kimani Shungwa.
At least somebody, some names there. So, but maybe even these ones are names.
Some names that you would see and then get terrified. And
frankly speaking, I don't know any of them. I don't. I just don't know any of them apart from Boni Khalwale.
So which game do you think the president is playing by?
I just don't want there to be games. Listen to me. There should be no games. We can lose this country. And I've been saying, people think I'm joking. They should not play. There's no room for games. There should be no room for games.
Okay.
Period.
Now, the stage is set already.
Yes.
And I looked at the briefing that the Kenya Kwanza members of parliament had yesterday, that press briefing immediately after finishing their PG meeting. And they said, okay, the 7 individuals who've been tasked to go and engage their counterparts from the Azimio side definitely have been given rules of engagement. And they are saying that there are certain things which are non-negotiable and which are the term definitely a no-go zone. Yes. Things such as opening of the servers and those are the demands about reinstating the Cherera 4. Yes. They're saying that those are no-go zone. Do you then think that perhaps we are going to benefit anything from these bipartisan talks that these people are going to get engaged in?
No. In terms of hardened positions, tough demands, rubbishing of other demands, I have no problem. That's how it all starts. Yeah, I have no problem with that. Some can ask for the sun, but they know they can't get the moon. Some may say we cannot go an inch, but they will cede a mile. We know that. So that's not a problem. It's normal, it's usual in negotiations. Yeah.
And of course, they are talking. One of the things that is actually affecting this country right now is the high cost of living, that which actually formed a basis upon which the Azimio decided to go to the streets. And unfortunately, the Kenya Kwanza side is saying that on that issue, let them be given time. That is also not on the table. So we are asking, really, is it about interest or about individual kind of self-interest, or is it about the common Mwananchi? Because I listened to both sides talk, and they're like, whatever we are doing is in the interest of the people. So what is it that is in there for us? If at all the price of unga is not going to be discussed there, the cost of electricity is not going to be discussed there, then what is it? What is it meant for?
I have told you, in terms of even the issues to be discussed, some will bring 5, others will say no, just 1. It's normal. That's extremely normal. But I just hope the people they have selected would not go there and say IBC and IBC alone, nothing else. Then they will not be capable people. They should be able to open up for discussion, to listen to the other side, to tell them, well, we can talk about this, but what is the end game? Say, we have instructions about servers, we can't talk. Those are our instructions. And the others, to try and show them we have to talk about the server. Go back to your principle, and this is the argument we have advanced. That way, then you can arrive at something. Yeah.
But this way, so my question still remains, what are the talks about? You see, I'm still wondering, what are we talking about? Because these people are saying there are certain things they're not going to discuss. So if at all it's all about IBC, and it's about the IBC, the selection panel and all that.
Let me tell you this. There will be talks. And these talks will be expanded to cover many things. It's obvious. Yeah. These talks will be bigger. The important thing we have started, but they'll be big. Ultimately, Kenya will sit down to talk about Kenya. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, are we going to get anything out of this? Because
yes.
Look at this. Look at it this way. The Azimio side have already chosen their members, and they're saying, giving demands that if at all certain issues are not addressed as we want, then we are going back to the streets. And on the other side,
no streets. There are no streets. We shall just talk.
On the other side, we shall. But they say they'll go back there if at all.
We just talk. In fact, let me tell you, otherwise we are wasting our time. In fact, even the issues raised by Azimio are not the issues. There are more issues than those. They are bigger issues, and we shall talk about them. So when these guys are still worried about what Azimio has raised, they should be prepared for bigger issues than the ones Azimio has raised. This country will not go forward until we discuss to produce a national charter.
Do you think the president has succeeded in proving to the country that the reason as to why the Azimio side was engaged in those demonstrations and protests had nothing actually to do with any national issue? Because right now, the issue is parliamentary, and he said whatever it is that we are arguing about, whatever differences we have, those are political differences that can be solved best in
parliament. This discussion will go outside parliament, and they will be bigger than the issues raised by Azimio. This is just a starting point.
But already the president dismissed.
But the president is not Kenya, and Kenya is not Ruto. Ruto is not Kenya. Only Indira was India, and India was Indira. But Ruto is not Kenya, and Kenya is not Ruto. That's a simple fact. The people of Kenya, when they decide to talk, they will talk.
Are you therefore trying to say that we expect much more broader conversation?
Of course.
Beyond
how you can't save this country unless you sit down to talk about this country. We have to produce a national charter that takes into consideration the fact that we are not moving forward. In fact, we are moving backwards. And as the population continues to grow, even those who are defending mediocrity, poor governance, crawling back on democracy, even those who think they can silence others, those who think they will continue stealing from this country and becoming billionaires, even they will soon realize whatever we are doing as a country is not sustainable. Even the rich in this country, they will soon realize unless we change the way we do things, their riches will amount to zero. Because you cannot live in a village where you are the only one unakaanga chapati jioni, unakula mchele, wali, unakula vitu pocho pocho, na everybody around you is sleeping hungry. It's a no-brainer. We are trying to think we can have a country where 95% of people go to bed hungry and 5% can eat and sleep in peace. You can't. The developed countries succeed because they take care of their poor. Somehow. In other words, you enjoy your 5-course meal, full breakfast, continental breakfast, wonderful lunch, dinner, everything, all the works, go to the best hotels. But make sure the person who is poor at least can have uji for breakfast.
Okay.
But we think we can live in a country where a handful of us will eat and the rest will go to bed hungry today, tomorrow, and they will go. They will not. They will come for what you are eating. And where do you start? Talking about our politics. Because we are as poor as our politics has made it possible. So we shall have to address our politics, write our politics, then all else shall flow, including the economy and good standards of living. And then we will be living in a peaceful country. So this national charter will come. It may not be tomorrow. But this journey we have started, nobody can engage a reverse gear. Nobody. Not Ruto, not Raila, not parliament.
So
people just go to that parliament and tell them, look here, we like you, you are our sons and daughters, you are our fathers, you are doing a good job, but please take a walk, go home.
I was actually talking to a friend this morning, and the constant question that comes from them is, why is it that for the Kenya Kwanza side, any talk on the servers is a no-go zone?
But that's normal. How can the president discuss his ouster? How can the president discuss the server? How can the president put on the table a discussion of whether or not he's a president? How? It's even me, I wouldn't, you wouldn't, nobody would. But that's how it starts.
Even if, but doesn't that raise questions? Doesn't it raise eyebrows on what?
Which eyebrows?
On the content.
No, it is just normal in negotiations. When there are issues of legitimacy, the sitting government says, no, we shall discuss everything except the presidency. But sometimes, finally, they do. Quite often they don't.
What would be the impact?
But rarely sometimes they do.
My question is, what would be the impact of the president? Of course, you've always said here that he's got the mandate. If he decides that if he decides and tells those players to open those servers, it's possible. What would be the impact of him ordering the opening of those servers, and then it clearly shows that he won, and then we close that chapter? Do you think he can consider that option?
You know, when you open the servers, first of all, you yourself, if you are Ruto, you are saying you doubt your legitimacy. You are announcing to the world, you doubt your legitimacy. But just supposing inside, Raila has won, and you have opened, what happens? But even if it turns out you have won, the other side will come up with excuses. They say, oh, there was they tampered with this, blah, 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 you know. That's why they are not opening initially. They have opened after 10 months, well, blah, blah. So.
And of course, what you're saying, alluding to here is a little bit true, because already there are rumors.
Yes.
I saw a lot of rumors. I don't know which.
Saying the Venezuelans are in town working on the servers. By the time they give you,
by the time they agree, already it's corrupted. So some of these things definitely.
Opening will lead to all those stuff.
So look at, where does this then leave Raila? Where does it actually place him? Because we are looking at a situation.
There are only two things. Either Raila agrees to forget about the server and negotiates all other things. In fact, you can trade in with the server. You can make concession. Now that we have allowed for you to be president, watch a server ikae. Na hii mambo ingine. You make more serious demands, get more concessions from Kenya Kwanza than you would have gotten if the server issue had not been shelved. That's number one. But number two, the server can also be open. For Raila, it is a question of pressure. How much pressure does he put? Both intellectual and physical.
But the Kenya Kwanza side says there are no legal or rather constitutional provisions that require them to have those servers open. So why should they anyway?
Why are they deciding to talk about something, and is it legal? Is what they are agreeing to do legal? They are already breaking the law because the law is clear that IEBC process should have started, and it has started. Why are they going back? Is it legal?
They're saying
Which is legal?
Actually, Aaron
They are already breaking the law. So even they are breaking the law.
Aaron Cheruiyot was saying, in as much as they gave Azimio a chance to nominate one member to the IEBC selection panel, of which they declined back then.
Then the process continued,
and
it's a legal process. But then now we want to reverse it.
But they've said right now they're working in the interest of the country.
That's the same way they will work in the interest of the country, and you will not introduce matters of law or a constitution. This thing is beyond the constitution. Yeah.
So you're saying there are certain things that we can do.
Yes,
outside.
there are some things outside the constitution.
The president said very well. Nothing extra legal, nothing.
But he's already allowing something extra legal.
Now here we are proof.
Things can be what the president wants until there's sufficient pressure. If there's pressure, it can't be what you want. Pressure can force you to negotiate on things you may not have wanted. Pressure can lead you to the server. Pressure can drive you out of State House. So it depends on how things are done. Yeah.
Elections have been done already, and that is actually what I'm now wondering at. Elections have been done. We've got a duly elected president right now, yes. President William Ruto. Raila is there still with his demands, but then we are already past the demonstration period. He's got his problems, whatever it is that he really wants to push the government to do. We don't know whether it's about self-interest or he's working in the interest of the people of the country. That is that. But here we are. He went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court actually declared itself on the issue that was brought before them. And of course, that actually upheld the election of President William Ruto. Then he decided to go to the streets, and now he's decided to seek another avenue of solving out these problems without necessarily having to be that aggressive. So my question therefore would be, what is now the position of Raila after, in case some of his demands are not met after this kind of bipartisan talk? Is he kind of trapped by the president in that he'll not actually find a way of convincing people that now let us do this to get this done, because already he's tried all those other available avenues and none of them have actually yielded free. So what option does
Raila says they can go back to the streets. It's an option.
But you're saying we should not go back to the streets.
I say we should not go back to the streets, but I don't determine everything. I pray that we should not go back, but my prayers may not be answered.
Are you therefore trying to allude to the fact that if at all these negotiations do not go well as
it is possible,
people would desire?
It is possible people can go back to the streets if Raila feels unhappy with the talks. It is possible Raila could be happy with the talks, but people say no, and they go to the streets.
You think those people are going to yield anything? Because
I've told you which people. The Kenya Kwanza.
The Kenya Kwanza side, because they said that they are strictly, in fact, Aaron Cheruiyot was saying that they've got strict instructions from the party leadership on what to discuss and what not to discuss. So it's like they're there, but then the voice behind is the president.
Ask them. Ask them. Had they foreseen a situation where they could have seeded the ground they have seeded today? At what point did they indicate they could go for this talk? They said there's no talk. So what's the The only talk they could have is to put Raila on a wheelbarrow to Bondo. But they have abandoned that. They are now going for talks. So you can let them talk about they can't take this, they won't take this, but there's already a precedent. Yeah, they will talk depending on the pressure. You don't talk because you want. Where we have reached, you talk because you're under pressure.
Okay.
So, if they saw what happened in the 3 mandamandos, if they think they can have mandamano kama hiyo and more, and still run the country, then they are clever people. We shall allow them to govern.
They're talking of they should be given more time to bring down the cost of living, and
you can be given even 2 years, even 3, even 5. But by the time you get down and round to doing it, if people have died, people will not allow you to let them die, then you do it after a year. They will want to eat now. So there are things you must do now. There are things that can wait for tomorrow. There are things for 5 years. There are things for 50 years. Food is something for today. Yes.
You're saying Kenyans, we cannot wait as we
They may
die.
not wait.
They may not wait because people will be dying.
Yeah.
Well, let us wait and see what will actually come over these bipartisan talks that are taking place between the members of parliament and the senators affiliated to the Azimio side, and of course those from the Kenya Kwanza side. Ladies and gentlemen, we are expecting that these 14 leaders who've been selected to spearhead these negotiations will go in there with a clean heart, so that we can witness some sort of positive feedback from them at the end of the day, and that we may move on as a country in the right direction. Allow me to stop this conversation at this point, but please do not fail to subscribe to our channel here at Herman Manyora if you've not subscribed, or if you're watching us for the first time. And of course, we've got a lot of programs lined up for you. Jadel Kabiro will be here discussing matters politics with Professor Herman Manyora here. And of course, Richard Mwenja will be coming up with Siasa Brigade and a Business Glide. Remember, that is the only show where you get everything comprehensive on economic issues in this country. Till we have this conversation again, have yourself a lovely day. My name is Evans Okinyi.